What is an ATAR? How is it calculated? Is scaling going to affect me? What subjects should I need to pick to score a high ATAR? These are the questions that many students have and that many students are concerned about. And in this video, I'm going to answer them in the most simple and best way. So let's go. What is an ATAR? The ATAR stands for Australian Tertiary Admission Rank and is a number between 0 and 99.95. The ATAR tells you where you rank in the state and your year group and is used by universities to admit you into specific courses. The ATAR is based off of your overall academic performance and is not a mark, it's a rank. Meaning, if you were to get a 90 ATAR, that means you're in the top 10% of your state. How is the ATAR calculated? Your final HSC mark for your subjects is based on 50% of your internal assessment mark and 50% in your external exam mark, meaning the mark that you actually got in the HSC exam. And then based off these two marks, your final mark is given. So here is an example of my 2022 HSC results. As you can see, there's an examination mark, assessment mark / grade, and then the final HSC mark. So as you can see, for biology in the actual exam, I got 89 and my internal assessment mark was 91, which led me to a 90 in my overall HSC mark. Another example is English, 91, 91, 91, maths 96, 97, which led me getting 97, and etc. Now, your ATAR is based off of your final HSC mark, so on that very right column. Now, the way they actually calculate the ATAR and the specifics of it is a little bit unnecessary to know, but I'll just tell you a little bit about it. So basically, across all your subjects, you get an aggregate, and that aggregate is used to rank you across everyone in the state, and then based off of your rank, you get your ATAR. If you want, you can use the link in my description to read more about it, but I'm just telling you what I think you need to know. Now, another thing is that your assessment mark that you get in school, so your internal assessment marks, goes through a process of moderation just to ensure the reliability of your results across all the other different schools. There is more of a process when it comes to calculating your ATAR, but I find I don't need to tell you this. I mean, if you're interested, you can use the link in the description down below if you want to read more about it, but I'm just telling you what I think you need to know. Scaling. Each of the marks that you get in your subjects goes through a process of scaling. Now, scaling is a good thing because it just makes everything fair. So irrespective of the subject you do, what you learn in it, the scaling ensures that you're getting a fair treatment across all the subjects that you do. Now, sometimes you may get scaled up in a subject, sometimes you may get scaled down, sometimes you may not get scaled up or down at all. For example, look at my marks. As you can see, majority of my subjects, I wasn't scaled up or down, it was actually just the same. I could delve deep into how scaling works, but it's such a complicated mathematical process that there's really no point. But again, if you want, you can still read more about it in the link below. Will scaling affect me? Now, I wish someone could do what I'm doing right now and tell me this when I was in year 12, but I'm here to tell you something very, very important. Scaling will not affect you in the way you think it will. There are students that I hear, and I used to fear the same thing. I used to think that because I didn't do advanced maths and advanced English and physics and chemistry, getting the ATAR that I wanted to get was impossible. I used to think that I was gonna get scaled down like crazy, and that's just wrong. That is the effect of social media and the effect of YouTube and the effect of other people, especially people who go to top schools. I'm here to tell you that the scaling will not affect you if you just put in the work. I saw someone on TikTok the other day who got an ATAR of like 40 and he's blaming scaling. And this annoyed me so much because I look at the comments and people saying, oh no, scaling's gonna affect me, scaling's gonna affect me. If you put in the work, if you really put in the work and actually study, scaling is not gonna affect you. Look at the subjects I did. I didn't do any advanced maths, any advanced English, nothing like that. And yet I scored a higher ATAR than people who did extension maths and chemistry and all the subjects that apparently scale high. So it's absolutely bullshit. Yes, scaling exists, and yeah, it's good to know that it exists, and it's good to know that your marks might scale up or down, but it's not going to affect you if you just put in the work. Again, I'm the best example. I didn't do the highest scaling subjects, and yet look at the ATAR that I got. This leads us to the next question. What subjects do I need in order to score a high ATAR? The subjects that you need to score a high ATAR are the subjects that you want to bloody study. Do not pick a subject because of the scaling or because what other people say or for what other people might think. Pick the subject that you want to study, because at the end of the day, what's going to keep you pushing forward and being able to study the subject is the subject that you enjoy. If you enjoy a subject and pick the subject that you genuinely want to study, I'm telling you the HSC is going to be such an easy process, because when it comes to studying, you're not going to be saying things like, oh, I hate this subject. No, because you picked it simply because you wanted to pick it. And I saw this in my own eyes, right? People who pick like, for example, advanced maths or extension maths solely because they thought that the scaling is going to help them, and yet they scored very bad. So just pick the subjects that you want to study, please. I know it's hard to do this, especially if you're in an environment where people are trying to convey to you that the scaling is going to affect you. But honestly, and again, I wish someone told me this just straight, pick the subjects that you want to study, put the work in. No matter what subject you do, put the work in, and you will get the ATAR you want. You can score a 99.95 doing any subject you want. Visual arts, I don't care what the subject is, you can score a 99.95. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't you score 99.95? Well, first of all, I didn't aim for 99.95 because I didn't need it. I actually aimed for 95. But if we were going to experiment, for me to get a 99.95, all I had to do was get like 2 more marks in one of my subjects. And if you want, you can use a calculator online to do this. So please, once again, put in the work, do everything you possibly can, put your 120% effort in succeeding in each of your subjects. And the scaling crap, just leave it to the UAC or whoever does it, and just don't worry about it. I hope this video helped you. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe, like, and turn notifications on to see my upcoming videos, and comment down below if you have any questions at all. And if there's one takeaway that I'd like you to take from this video, is to not worry about scaling, put in the work, and you will succeed. See you next time.